Well, let me give you my review. Sorry, I have to keep on clearing my throat. But let me give you my review of Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. Now, I will be covering this as follows. I will be covering the story, then the adventure. I'll go over how I'm not going to list every single character of the roster. I will go over my my pros and cons of the game. And that's about it. So, first off, I bought this game off the Microsoft store. And it took quite a while from the time I purchased it to the time that it actually installed. But after it got installed, I immediately went into the story. And the story picks up where Ninja Storm 3 leaves. Well, left off. So, you start off. First off, the story is absolutely phenomenal. You start off with an intro of Hashirama and Madara battling it out with a Susanoo cloaked Nine Tails that Madara is riding. That, quite frankly, I didn't. Sorry about that. That I didn't. I honestly thought that the battle was going to be simple. Just beat the crap out of Madara until he can no longer get up. Boy, was I wrong. You get to a certain point where Kudama starts getting involved in the battle and throwing stuff at you. So you have to dodge that along with beating up Madara. And it's absolutely phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal when Hashirama uses his wood. Oh, the 1,000-arm wood. I forget what it's called. The Buddha thing. And the battle is just amazing. So after that, we come to present day, where where we're in the midst of the Fourth Great Ninja War. and it's believed that Obito is still Madara or Toby. Um, there were a couple things that were changed from Ninja Storm 3 to Ninja Storm 4. Like, for the present, for the story, which goes by super quick, um, you had two branching paths. You had Naruto, and the first path known as was known as uh, the man behind the mask, which is where you finally break the mask open and reveal Obito. Um, and then you have the Taka, the Taka, the Taka files, where Taka reunites and Orochimaru is there, and I went with the Taka uh, path first, then the Naruto path. And there are things that I like, and there are things that I don't. That I. It's not that I didn't care for them. It's just why. First off, the first team match I had was against Orochimaru. And you have Sasuke, Suigetsu, and Jugo. And you have the objectives. The objectives were connect with Jugo, Jugo's ninjutsu one time, Jugo's ninjutsu one time, and I forget the other. But I didn't realize that for the team matches this time around, unlike Ninja Storm 3, where you had the character you selected. So let's say in Ninja Storm 3, I selected Minato. And then I pick Obito and Kakashi. In Ninja Storm 3, you couldn't change out characters on the fly. In Ninja Storm 4, once I learned how to do it, you could change characters. Because I thought, and this is just me, but I thought by connecting Jugo and Suigetsu's ninjutsus, you just call upon them with the left and right bumpers respectfully. But that wasn't the case. Once I found out that those weren't check marked, I'm like, well, how do you do this? Then I started flicking around with the the right stick, and I found out that's how you change leaders, which is a nice touch. The entire story is narrated by Hagoromo, which is also a fantastic touch. So, after I got done with the Taka, I had to go to the Naruto path to get to to get to the no well yeah to get to the part of the story where they needed to come together. There is a lot of side stuff that I didn't. Well, I watched every single. I watched every single video. Well, not every single video. I watched all the side stuff. I even played all the side stuff in the story. And there wasn't one single time that this story dragged. Not once. Which is fantastic. Now, it may have helped that I took a long break from the game and came back. But let's get into some of the things that I left me questioning why. And that is with the still shots with dialogue over them. I don't get that. It's cool when the still shots lead in to in-game cutscenes. But it's like, I think this would have been a lot more better if everything was like it was in Ninja Storm 3, where everything was in-game. The only cutscene you had was the finish scene when you finished off your opponent with a secret tech. Well, with your ultimate jutsu. But back to the story. So, after that, I broke the mask with Kakashi, and Kakashi's what they refer to as finish scenes is who's behind the mask. They break open the mask, find out it's Obito, and boy, was it fun. Now, I've never watched. I tell a lie. I have watched bits and pieces of the war arc here and there, but actually sitting down and watching the final arc of Naruto Shippuden, I actually haven't done, and that's because sub over dub, I prefer dub. And for some reason, and I even looked this up, all of Naruto Shippuden is dubbed. The war arc is dubbed. But streaming platforms just don't have the dubbed version of the war arc, which means I have to go with sub. And I don't hate sub, but it's like, I don't want to read subtitles. But this was basically a video game adaptation of the war arc, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Up until one part, and I will get to that. Pretty soon. So, the story is fantastic. They bring back mob battles from Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, which I thoroughly enjoyed them, just like I did in Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. So, after that, I figured, well, this story's gonna be pretty long. Which it was. But for the amount that the story covers, it went by pretty quickly. So let's continue on. So after that, the story gets you to where uh, you get to the battlefield and everything is nuts. Orochimaru revives the previous Hokage, which is Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, and Minato. And that's where you find out that Tobirama he just hates, and I mean hates with an absolute passion, the Uchiha. So so the previous Hokage challenged Sasuke and Taka to a fight in an old, like, where Tobirama and Hashirama used to train, and they pass it with flying colors. Now, not gonna lie, this story mode had me on the ropes. Very much so. To the point where I failed multiple times. And I'm like, I was so close. But that's a, and I thought, well, I'm gonna have to restart this entire thing. Up until I realized something. I wake up to Hagoromo saying, wake up. You're not supposed to sleep yet. Choose your own path and walk again. And that gives you two selections. There's the blue path, which ups your defense, and then there's the orange path that ups your attack. Both of them have you start at 100% health, and sorry, I have an itchy nose, but leaves your opponent with the health that you knocked them down at. And that was a nice addition. So, about pretty much all the way through the story, I had one question. And that question was, is Kag is Kaguya, Hagoromo, and Hamura's mother, Indra and Asura's grandmother, um, going to make an appearance? And she did. Madara took the divine tree, sucked it into himself, and gained tremendous power. There's also points in the story where you had to run away from the Tin Tails and shoot its eye, and that was difficult because I didn't read the instructions. But after I figured it out, that was fun. Um so all in all, the story was great. You even got to see you even got to play as Team Minato. But I think the piece to resistance isn't the war arc itself, but is the final battle with Naruto and Sasuke. And right then and right there, after I finished the Naruto and Sasuke battle, their final battle, I'm like, this was a fitting end. Because it went from current Naruto and Sasuke from the war arc to flashbacks of when they fought in the final valley, and when they fought when they fought as kids, to a to current day where they're just both entirely wore out and all you can do is walk slowly towards each other and punch and punch and kick and punch and headbutt. That's all you can do. Finally, it ends up with Sasuke going, okay, I'll come back. And then we go into the last not the last, but basically where the Boruto DLC would have picked up if I had bought the DLC, which I didn't do because I don't care for Boruto. That may change once I see the anime or read the manga, but as it currently stands, I don't care for Boruto. So the story was difficult. but not too difficult. It wasn't so bad to where I just had to put down my controller and just be like, I've had enough. I cannot do it right now. I'm going to go cool off. No, it was enjoyable. The only complaint that I have about the story is the retcon. Well, not retcon, retcon. Ret with a T. The retcon. And that's with Black Zetsu. It made no sense. So, Black Zetsu, the way Kaguya comes into the story is Black Zetsu first takes over Obito, and then Madara gives Black Zetsu an order to help him crush the opposition, which he just goes, "Yes, Lord Madara. Is that what you thought I would say?" Meanwhile, the entire time he is monologuing, he has his hand thrusted into Madara's chest. Madara, therefore, transforms into Kaguya, and then you have the villain monologue of Black Zetsu. And even when I heard it the first time I heard it, this was the first and only time I had heard it, was through this game. And even through this game, it made no sense to me. So, Black Zetsu was created through the last of Kaguya's chakra. Black Zetsu is the living embodiment of Kaguya's will. The only reason why the only purpose for Black Zetsu's life is to resurrect his mother, which would be Kaguya. So, Kaguya gets resurrected. She says she hates her sons and hates the incarnations of her grandsons, that being Indra and Ashura. Well, is it Ashura or Asura? Because I heard it pronounced both ways. Hagoromo pronounces it Asura, and Kaguya pronounces it Ashura. So, oh, by the way, Night Guy was very, very good. Playing as him and doing the Night Guy kick, that was amazing. I will get to you in a minute. Hardcore Wrestling 101. But I'm probably going to have to speed this up. But Kaguya so I forgot where I was. After Kaguya, um, gets defeated, which is very, very good. Everything about this game is great. However, the entire retcon, unlike with Bleach and Ichigo and Aizen, didn't really make any sense to me. Now, after the story mode, there's adventure mode. And I haven't completed adventure mode, but it's basically a whole bunch of tasks. Yay. The village looks nice. They're still working on the Naruto bridge. And Hinata is still shy about telling Naruto how she feels. That's the entire thing about adventure mode. So then let's go to the roster. The roster in this game is huge. With so you have your Naruto's, you have your six paths Naruto and Sasuke. You have Hanabi, which is the younger sister of Hinata, and you also have all three members of Team Minato, that being Kakashi, Obito, and Rin. I believe this is the first game where you actually get to play as Rin. And her ultimate is just called Tailed Beast Rampage. So, all in all, this game was great. I don't think I'd give it a 10 out of 10. I would give it an 8 out of 10, and I think everybody should play it. So this has been my review of Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm Hardcore Christopher. If you would like to become a member of our community, hit the subscribe button down below and make sure you ring the bell and click all for every time I upload a video. If you don't, it's okay. I still respect you. At the end of the day, I'm just glad that you chose to spend a little bit of your time here with me. Keep it hardcore, everyone.